Southeast Kansas friends, family, firefighters, and first responders gather in Baxter Springs to honor a fallen hero. Details are coming up.
Plus, we'll look at how 4 state communities are honoring our service members on this Veterans Day. Also, the new gym giving area kids a chance to hone their skills in the cage. And we'll hear from Fort Scott Community College's athletic director about the decision to end the football program.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
4 state first responders came together in Baxter Springs today to honor one of their own, following the passing of Baxter Springs firefighter Malachi Brown. KOAM's Mike Mahoney spoke to the Baxter Springs fire chief to learn more.
On Wednesday night, Baxter Springs firefighter Malachi Brown succumbed to the injuries he received battling a mid-October structure fire. On Thursday, representatives from multiple 4 state first responders formed a procession at a burn unit in Springfield to bring Brown back to Baxter Springs, and they had a lot of support along the way.
I want to thank all the agencies that helped us get him home. It was a long trip from Springfield, and all the way from Springfield all the way to Baxter Springs, we had agencies on overpasses with flags standing on the side of the road supporting us.
Brown was brought back to the Derfelt Funeral Home's Baxter Chapel, where friends, family, fellow firefighters, and first responders gathered to say goodbye to a man who sacrificed his life protecting the community he loved.
I'd like to thank all the communities around to help and support us, and I'd like to thank the family and everybody in the community. Please say a prayer tonight for his family and his children.
In Baxter Springs, Kansas, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
Baxter Springs Fire Lieutenant Malachi Brown leaves behind a wife and 3 children. A Gravette, Arkansas woman is dead after a crash in southwest Missouri. The Highway Patrol says Robin Ford drove off the road on Interstate 49 west of Neosho and hit an embankment. Ford died at the scene. No other cars were involved. Nice day for some Veterans Day ceremonies. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, at least we had the sunshine for us today, and temperature's not that bad, so a good day to get outside. Of course, after the showers and thunderstorms, severe weather that we had last night, there have been a few little tiny showers skirting our northern counties over the past few hours. Besides that, we look pretty good, but there is another wave developing right across northeastern parts of Colorado. This is going to slip in after midnight tonight and give us additional showers. Don't really expect thunderstorms, but showers working in. So let's go through time. We're going to stop at 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see the light showers across the region. These are going to rotate through. By the time you get up, they're gone, and we break back out and see some sunshine by the time we head into tomorrow afternoon. Kind of chilly. Temperatures upper 40s to near 50 right now. We have these northwesterly winds kicking in and kind of making it feel a little bit cooler than what it actually is. Through the evening, clouds increase. Temperatures drop. Lower 40s. Gets even colder the next few days. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Again, this is Veterans Day. For many communities and organizations, it's the first time in the pandemic era that they could hold traditional Veterans Day events. That was the case at PSU. The university hosted its ceremony for the first time since 2019, with veterans and families in attendance.
It's a special day that we need to remember and take time to appreciate what we have, the sacrifices that soldiers and individuals, both on the civilian side but also in the military, that serve our country on a daily basis, whether domestically or abroad.
This year's keynote speaker was Pittsburgh Fire Chief Dennis Riley, who is a U.S. Army veteran and was at Ground Zero on 9/11. In Fort Scott, the Tourism Board decided to cancel this year's parade, but the American Legion Post 25 wasn't going to let that happen. The Post today took over the parade and hosted it for area veterans and their families.
No matter where you served and what time you served, you're a veteran of our armed forces, and there's a bond and a fellowship that goes together. It just exists.
The American Legion riders led the parade on their motorcycles. Of course, parades and ceremonies aren't the only way to honor our local veterans. The Joplin Area Habitat for Humanity is honoring a local vet by providing a place to stay. Habitat today dedicated a new home to Tim P. and his family.
Anytime somebody does something in this magnitude for nothing, I mean, we have laborers here who weren't paid. They're out here doing their best. They're not just here to do something because their boss says we got this organization program in our company. You have to, volunteer to go do this. They came out and showed their love.
The home will be constructed using ICFs, or insulating concrete forms. ICFs are a sustainable construction method. Sheepdog Impact Assistance today broke ground on a new facility that'll help veterans in times of crisis. It's called a Warrior Path Facility. PATHH means Progressive and Alternative Training for Healing Heroes. When complete, the facility in Pineville, Missouri will provide tools to help combat veterans and first responders struggling with PTSD, depression, anxiety, and other challenges.
But then to be able to get out and hunt, fish, hike, camp, cave explore, razor ride, four-wheel, archery, labyrinth walk, you name it. Just the blessing of being able to get out and explore the nature and the blessing that is this ranch.
The group also dedicated 2 new buildings on the property named after fallen service members Lance Corporal Anthony Darb and Senior Chief Joseph Engelman. We told you earlier this week the Fort Scott Community College has ended its football program due to what they say was a lack of resources and other issues. Tonight, later in sports, we're going to hear from the college's athletic director about the decision to end the program. But first, in tonight's KOIM News Now Insta poll, we're asking, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your local sports team to your sense of community? You can participate in this poll at koimnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOIM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to check in on the latest numbers here in just a bit. 5 Oklahoma Republican state lawmakers want Governor Kevin Stitt to grant clemency to Julius Jones, who's scheduled for execution next week. Among the 5 are 2 state House members representing the Oklahoma City suburb, where Paul Howell was shot to death during a carjacking in 1999. Jones was convicted of Howell's killing and sentenced to death, but he has long maintained his innocence. Jones alleges he was framed by his co-defendant who testified against Jones and served 15 years in prison. The Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board voted 3-1 to recommend that Stitt commute Jones's sentence to life in prison. Still ahead, we're going to meet the local teenage powerhouse looking to make a name for herself in the world of MMA and learn how she's creating opportunities for other kids with the same dream. And later, we'll hear from Pitt State football as they prepare to close out their season against Fort Hays. Commerce, Oklahoma teenager known as the Powerhouse Princess was recently featured on a Canadian reality show where she went head-to-head with other athletes from North America. KOIM's Bronte Sorotsky is live in Commerce with more.
I'm at the Relentless Training Center in Commerce, Oklahoma, where Demaya Smith, also known as the Powerhouse Princess, trains. And her name comes from her skills in powerlifting and also her love of all things girly, like wearing makeup, even when training. Recently, Demaya was featured on the competitive reality show All Around Champion, where she was able to meet athletes from all over North America and try out completely different sports.
I've gotten a lot of popularity from being in my sports, so sometimes shows would reach out to me, and I happened to get on All Around Champion, and it was a crazy experience. It was so amazing. We did so many different sports, and I was learning like how to fence and play hockey. It was crazy, and I would not change it for the world.
Now that she's back in Oklahoma, Demaya says she is going to continue training and competing with the hopes of one day being an MMA fighter professionally. Reporting live in Commerce, Bronte Sorotsky, KOIM News.
Thanks, Bronte. We'll see you at 10. Later, we're going to hear from the Fort Scott athletic director about the college's decision to end its football program.
Plus, a little bit more rain is going to roll in for us later on tonight, and also cooling down. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, a little bit cooler for us today behind the cold front that gave us the showers, the thunderstorms, even some severe weather yesterday evening, but at least we had sunshine for us today. Just kind of cool, temps into the upper 50s, but that's actually closer to where we should be for this time of the year. We're dropping back now, 50 in Stockton, 55 in Anderson, Miami 53, Pittsburgh checking in at 51, Independence sitting at about 50 degrees. And we've had these northwesterly winds behind the front, a little breezy today at about 10 to 20. It's going to stay kind of breezy tonight, and the winds will pick up again for us tomorrow as another cold front rolls through late tonight into tomorrow morning. And with it, we're going to get some clouds and a few showers. Stark, of course, it's 50. Humidity is low, 43%. Pressure is steady at 30.01 inches of mercury. Temps are going to drop back through the 40s. Clouds are going to increase, and then we're going to get some rain chances in here after midnight for us tonight. Already today, we had a few little showers kind of skirt our northeastern counties and evade over towards Stockton Lake. Besides that, everybody else stayed dry, but on the back side of the system, we're getting these fast-moving little waves. So here's our next little wave. You can see it, parts of Colorado moving into northwestern Kansas, and it's this cluster that's going to rotate through a little bit later on tonight, kind of all rotating around this big storm system that, of course, gave us the showers and thunderstorms for us last night. Another wave building that will affect us by the time we head into Sunday. All right, let's break this down. Let's go through the evening hours. Clouds increase. Here's midnight. Let's go after midnight. Showers increase, especially in our southern counties. And then by the time you wake up in the morning, they're gone. Sunshine returns. But with this next front that drops through, we're going to struggle to even warm up tomorrow. In fact, we're going to get another batch of clouds working in here during the afternoon, but our temperatures cool, chilly, 41 to start, 45 by noon, high temp of 48. We're going to have those northwesterly winds again at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow night we clear out and we hit rock bottom. We get a pretty good freeze. We're going to drop 27, 28 degrees for an overnight low. In general, Saturday looks good, hair warmer. We'll go into lower 50s, and then here comes that next wave. By Sunday morning, we'll get some clouds. We may get a few sprinkles, maybe a random shower, and another cold front drops through. But once we get to early next week, southerly winds are going to return by Monday. So we start warming up. By Tuesday, we're going to be back into the 70s for a high. So we're going to see a pretty good switch over the next 4 or 5 days. Next system drops in. So this is Wednesday afternoon. Showers, thunderstorms, another cold front drives through, and our temperatures take a tumble once again late next week. All right, 48 tomorrow, 28 tomorrow night, 52 on Saturday, 55 on Sunday. Overall, the weekend looks pretty good, just a little chilly for this time of the year, but back to 63 Monday, 74 on Tuesday, and then we cool down again with showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday, and back into the lower 50s for highs by the time Thursday rolls around.
That's quite a bounce in the temperature.
It really is. I mean, from 28 tomorrow night to 74 on Tuesday, it's a pretty big swing.
Almost 50 degrees. Yeah. Thanks, Doug. Coming up in sports, we're going to hear from the Fort Scott Community College Athletic Director on the recent termination of the football program. Plus, the Pitt State Gorillas prepare to wrap up the season with a long trip to Fort Hays State. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Doug.
Well, this week is the final week of the season for the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. Pitt State hits the road on Saturday in Week 11, facing Fort Hays State. Now, the Tigers fighting for a winning record heading into the weekend 5-5, while the Gorillas are 7-3. That's a bit of a long bus ride out to Hays, but the team says that's just more time to be together and be around the 15 seniors who will play their final game Saturday afternoon.
It's kind of one of those bittersweet things. Like, it's going to be a long, long bus trip there and back, but you know that way back that you're going to cherish all those extra hours you get from that ride with those guys, because it'll be the last one you get.
I think it'll be a great opportunity for our guys one last time to be together, and probably not any better timing than what we could have right now, just to get on the road and spend that time together and let those guys enjoy what it's all about and the process that goes into these types of football games and into a regular season.
The Missouri Southern Lions also finish up the season on Saturday. They'll be on the road facing Washburn. The Lions are 3-7, Washburn 8-2. Southern is looking to finish on a high note and pick up their first 4-win season in 7 years. But either way it works out, head coach Atiba Bradley likes what he's seen in his first full season with the team.
The biggest thing that just stands out to me is I think the foundation has been laid for the next class that we bring in, and that the expectation of how hard you have to play has been set. The thing that I learned is the league is as good as it was when I left here 10 years ago and when I played here 15 years ago. That part has not changed over the decades, and so we got to make sure we elevate our play and elevate our talent to the league level.
Well, Fort Scott Community College announced the termination of its football program on Monday night. The Greyhounds played their final game of the season just one day earlier, a 63-2 loss to Independence in the first round of the Jayhawk Conference playoffs. And the Fort Scott program been around for nearly 100 years, but has struggled the last few. The team is 3-19 in their last 22 games. And we caught up with Fort Scott Community College Athletic Director Tom Havron to talk about what's next for the 91 football players on campus and what it's been like since the announcement came 3 days ago.
It's been very difficult. It was an extremely emotional decision to have to make. I think that the football players and the coaches themselves have been very excellent throughout the process, trying to just move on and figure out what's next for them in their athletic, academic, and professional careers. We have reached out to every single junior college in the Jayhawk Conference and all the athletic directors, and I'm coordinating visits with them to come on campus and recruit our kids, try to find them the next spot.
That's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Stephen Bradley served in the U.S. Army during Operation Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom, and Enduring Freedom. His hometown, Neosho, Missouri. This day and every day, we are proud to salute Stephen Bradley. He's tonight's four-state hero. Jordan Abbey joins us now with a look at what's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14.
Tonight at 9, going to learn about a new gym in Northeast Oklahoma for people to practice martial arts. Also, more mandates and more lawsuits as officials ramp up the push to get Americans vaccinated. And a new study shows how extra tech could be causing your pets extra stress. That, of course, a lot more coming your way tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 after Thursday Night Football.
Now let's check in on tonight's KOAM News Now Insta poll. We're asking, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your local sports team to your sense of community? Right now, the average rating, about a 6. You can participate in the poll at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. You do still have plenty of time to vote. We're going to keep this poll open through the end of the 10 p.m. newscast. A 105-year-old Louisiana woman now holds a world record in the 100-meter dash. Retired teacher Julia Hawkins took the top spot for the race at the Louisiana Senior Games. Look at her go. That makes her the first female track and field athlete and the first American to set a track and field world record. Her win also established an age 105 and older category. Hawkins has won big before. At age 101, she won the 100-meter dash at the USA Track and Field Outdoor Masters Championships. And in 2019, Hawkins won 2 gold medals for races at the Senior Games in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hawkins says, quote, "I want to keep running as long as I can. My message to others is that you have to stay active if you want to be healthy and happy as you age." And she certainly looks to be both.
Age is just a number.
It is. In her case, that number is 105.
Yeah, that's great.
Give us some weather numbers.
Kind of chilly tonight. We're going to get some showers in here after midnight and only 48 for a high tomorrow.
Final sports note.
We'll have more from the Pittsburgh State Gorillas on their season finale tonight at 10.
We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon services